Welcome back. This is math from the void, math coming at you out of nowhere. And today we're going to take it easy with something light. It is a graph analysis of a given function. This is going to be a breath of fresh air before we finally start to pick up the pace quite a bit and get into some heavier uses of algebra. For this one, you're probably going to want to have some graph paper. Certainly a notebook and pen to write with as usual. It doesn't require graph paper. You could do this by just sketching out the graph by hand, as long as you have a few key points. So let's notice these key features. We have a piecewise function. You see two pieces, and there's an open circle on this piece here at -2, 0. But other than that, it is a line with a slope of up 2 over 1, so +2. Then we have a parabola, the graph of a quadratic equation. And this has a bold circle at -2, -1. It has a y-intercept here at 0, -3. And we see that, of course, it crosses through a symmetric point, +2, -1. And then we also have a closed dot here at 4, 5. So as long as you have those points, you really don't need much more. We're not going to do anything with the x-intercepts, so it doesn't have to go through a specific location very perfectly. It should cross between x equals 2 and x equals 3, but we're not going to be picky about exactly where it crosses. Okay, we're going to use this graph, which is a useful reason for you to have a drawing for it yourself. I also see another piece of function up here. It looks like, since the axes are dotted, it looks like there's an open circle here, and then the function goes flat at y equals 6. That's what it appears to me, but I'm not sure if we even need to use that portion of the graph. Let's take a look at what they're asking here. F of 4. So this is some functional analysis. What does f of 4 mean? In fact, before I do that, let's get a little closer. This means the y value when x equals 4. So we take a look at the graph, look for the y value. Oops. Let's take a look. When x is equal to 4, y equal to 5. Very simple. F of 0 should be no surprise. It's asking you something very similar, but it's the y value when x equals 0. And we'll make that larger. So if we take a look, where is the y value when x equals 0? There we go, -3. Okay, now they're going to ask us a different type of question. They're going to ask to approximate the values of x. So now we're looking for x values, and they'll phrase it like this: for which f of x is equal to -2. So this time it's telling us that y equals -2. We need to go find the x values for which that's true. Find the values of x for which f of x equals -2. So what we're going to do is very simple. We're going to draw a line at y equals -2. And you see how it crosses the function several times? We want all of the x values where it crosses. So it looks like we're going to get a spot here at x equals -3. It looks like we're going to get a spot here at what seems to be approximately -1.5. And we're going to get one on the other side, which is at approximately positive 1.5. Does it seem like it's a little bit less than 1.5? Yeah, it does seem like that, but 1.5 is fine. So those are our x values. We're going to have x equals -3, -1.5, and positive 1.5. Okay, good. And now here's a question where they're asking for when is y greater than. Oops. Y greater than 0. In other words, it's like above the x-axis. We're looking for x values where the graph is above the x-axis. So it looks like it hits the x-axis here. It doesn't even really hit it because it has an open circle. It was going to hit it. And then it goes down here. And it finally crosses somewhere around, I'll use kind of an ugly color for this, somewhere around there, which is approximately 2.5. Does it seem like it's a little bit less? Yeah, it kind of does, but that's fine. So we're going to say when x is greater than 2.5, because anything to the right is going to be up here above the x-axis. So the way that we're going to write that is simply x greater than 2.5. And that'll do it for this brief episode. Like I said, this was a breath of fresh air to get you understanding graphs, looking at graphs again. In the final few lessons, we're going to ramp things up and use some Algebra 2 level techniques that are going to play a huge role in calculus. Until next time.